Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Dr. Arnold Nerenberg. It's a great privilege and a pleasure and a deep enjoyment for me to be here with you this evening. I want to share with you inspirations and lessons of a lifetime with the intention of uplifting you and your loved ones for the rest of your lives. That's truly my intention. I like to tell people that I'm 83 years old, going on 84, and I finally know what I'm doing, so you're getting me at a good time to share this with you. I've been licensed as a clinical psychologist in the state of California since 1974, and I've been in the field for over 50 years now. I've met some of the most wonderful, beautiful human beings ever. And the great pleasure of watching people manifesting their dignity, manifesting their honor as they deal with their struggles, their problems, their issues, watching the nobility of my people. It's what a great enjoyment that is. Like better than any great work of art. Tremendous. A lot of people will talk about they want to love themselves. And I want to talk about what is true self-love. That's the title of today's presentation. True self-love. So somebody will say, I want to love myself. I'm going to go get my nails done. I love myself. I deserve that car. I'm going to go buy that new car. I want to show I love myself. I'm going to treat myself to a new suit. Or for a woman, some new shoes and a new purse. I'm going to treat myself. I love myself. Well, in and of itself, that's not self-love. There's nothing wrong with it. Go for it. No problem. But in and of itself, that is not self-love. You can call that self-indulgence, call it pampering yourself. That would be the term. But that's not self-love. True self-love. True self-love is to live with honor. True self-love is to live with honor. Because as you live with honor, that's a life of no regrets. As you follow the way of the 4 commands of honor and the bridge, you'll see amazing things happen. I want to tell you what real self-love is. Here's what you get. Here's how you show you love yourself. Repeat the 4 commands of honor 3 times a day for your life with the bridge. 4 commands of honor are these. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. And then one of 2 depends if you believe in God or not. If you believe in God as I do and as many of my people do, God, your wish is my only wish. Or if you don't believe in God or don't want to address God, it's I seek always to serve my highest values. And I'm going to show you what this leads to. It's amazing. We've done the research on it. Amazing. You want to do this 3 times a day for all your life. You want to commit your life to reciting these and listening to yourself as you recite them out loud. So there's a pledge. People raise their right hand and they recite. As a disciple of honor, I pledge myself for all the days of my life to the 4 commands of honor. And I'll teach them to those I love. I'll repeat them every morning, afternoon, and evening. And I will listen to myself recite them. I call them the 4 commands of honor. They're also called the 4 reminders of honor, the 4 commandments of honor, 4 principles of honor. There's different terminology over a period of time. So now you have a lifetime commitment. And I'm going to show you how this is self-love. Whoa. Those of you who've been in my honor program, my honor therapy program, you already know. But this is for everyone to understand this. Then you want to optimize, maximize the probability that you're going to apply those commands of honor in any given situation. So we have what I call the bridge. It's a bridge from the realm of honor to the realm of reality. It's this. What is the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? What is the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? Now, in following the way of honor, we're no longer looking for happiness, a total paradigm shift. We're not looking for happiness. We're looking to manifest honor in our lives. Honor, which turns out to be the foundation of true happiness. Sure, you can have fun and entertainment and enjoyment without honor, but you won't have true happiness. So you have the 4 commands of honor, a lifetime commitment to using them, and the bridge. And the repetition is preparation for application to achieve stabilization. It will stabilize you. Now, we have done a research project interviewing over 240 patients, and we found that it improved people's lives, what it gave them from following this, rapidly, within about 5-6 meetings, rapidly, often within 2 meetings. Self-esteem. For many of the people, self-esteem went up. That's loving yourself. You follow the way of honor, your self-esteem goes up. Wisdom. People told us, over a majority of the people said, I feel I've gained wisdom. Even within 2 meetings, they said, I've gained in wisdom. From meeting with us, myself, or nurse practitioner Bert, watching the videos, coming to these Zoom meetings, reading the book, The Teachings of Honor. Resiliency. Most of our people felt more resilient. Whatever they're going through, if they get down, they're having a depressive episode, an anxiety episode, something's bothering them, they come back up faster. Still go down at times, but come up faster. That's resiliency. They felt that it increased their compassion for others who have suffered as they have suffered. They feel more compassion for people. Getting these gifts from the way of honor, you're getting the idea how this is loving yourself. Oh, to get all these goodies, all this wealth, this inner wealth, eternal wealth. Majority of people said it increased their self-awareness, their self-respect. Wow. Wow. Now that's loving yourself. To do something that will give you more self-respect. That's wow. That's what we found. I'm just giving you empirical facts. I've given a lecture on this before, the exact numbers, but that's what it does. Many people said they feel happier, brought them happiness. Even though we're not pursuing happiness, we're pursuing honor. Happiness is a byproduct of that. Happiness is a byproduct of pursuing the way of honor. Is that loving yourself or what? To make yourself happier. Keep in mind, in the program, we don't say, hey, if you see something you want to buy, go out and buy it. Want a new car, go get it. You want to get a pedicure, go get it. We're not saying don't do it, but that's not part of the program. Following the way of honor, you have to go spend money. You just have to recite this. It takes 8 seconds to recite the 4 commands of honor and 4 seconds to recite the bridge. That's 12 seconds a day. You can do it while driving, taking a shower, sitting on the toilet, wherever. Amazing. Now, many of our people said help them deal with depression, anxiety, and panic attacks, helped them with relationships, felt more motivated. They felt more fitness. Because part of the way of honor demands that we take care of our bodies and our health. Because we have to do all we can not to become a burden to those around us, to our loved ones. We have to take care of ourselves as a matter of honor, not only because we respect ourselves, but because we respect our loved ones. We don't want to burden them unnecessarily. If we get hit by a car and that happens, well, so be it. But we don't want to actively destroy ourselves to make ourselves a burden. So we found most people felt that they got healthier from the program. That's loving yourself. Making yourself healthier, more fit, exercise, nutrition, that's all part of it. That's loving yourself. By any stretch of the imagination, that is loving yourself. I'm not saying don't buy the car or buy the gown or the suit. I'm not saying don't do that. But I would call that indulgence, pampering, no problem. But I don't want you to call that self-love, loving yourself. No, this is loving yourself. People feel more virtuous, they're sleeping better, more self-acceptance. People feel that they have more love to give. More loving. You know how beautiful that is. More love in your heart. You have more love to give. That boosts you up. That's a beautiful gift for you. You have that love that's being released in you. People feel less lonely. That's loving yourself when you do something that will reduce your loneliness. Wow. Because the communication method for the path of honor is respectfully real communication. You want to be real, but you do it respectfully. That creates a good connection. People feel even they can deal with their pain better. They feel more energetic, more self-confidence, progress in going back to work, and closer to God. I mean, for those who believe in God or a higher power or the divine nature, they say, I feel closer to God. Well, anything that strengthens your spiritual identity, that's amazing. Through following the way of honor, that happens. We've got the facts. This isn't wishful thinking. We've got the data. We've proven it. Bert and I already knew people were gaining these benefits just talking to the people. But then we went and got the numerical, empirical data to support it. But the qualitative input we were getting from texts from our people, from the diagnostic interviews, we saw it. All I did was put it into a quantitative measurement. So, loving yourself is living with honor. The other things are self-indulgence and pampering. Now, they can be related. If pampering yourself and self-indulgence helps give you a break and energize you so you can go back and live more with honor, so you can put more energy into that, then it's not only pampering, but it's part of living with honor because you're doing it with the intention of replenishing yourself so that you can live, you can have more energy to serving others. Now, a lot of these benefits you're getting to self-love is a benefit to people around you. So it's not selfishness. The pampering has a selfish dimension to it. It has a selfish dimension. But true self-love, as you improve yourself, your qualities, others are going to benefit from that. They know, well, I notice a change. And many of our people say, my significant others notice I'm improving. So then they then benefit from that way. So as you benefit in these ways, the people around you benefit. You become a more likable, more lovable person. And that's a gift to everyone around you. So the way of honor, you're doing for yourself, but because of these virtues, it benefits your family, your loved ones, and society at large. Ha! And that's a beautiful thing. Now, if you go get that suit, you get your nails done, well, that's nice. But if it's not to help you live a honorable life, well, you're the only one that might be benefiting. But this one is where you're helping other people. Now, again, if that gives you a break and replenishes you so you can serve more honorably again, well, then it all ties into loving yourself then. Well, and as you live honorably and show part of that showing respect to others and respect for your communication and showing respect, that reduces the bad karma. So if you're respectful to somebody else, that's typically reciprocated. So you get that respect back. Typically, not always. But if you're disrespecting others, you create bad karma, bad consequence. It comes back on you. The person gets revenge on you. They're angry with you. They look for revenge. They do something to you. That's not loving yourself. You're just creating a problem in the future. You get some off your chest by unloading it on somebody. You feel better. I told that son of a gun off. That's a problem waiting to happen for you. That's just a problem waiting to happen. You put all that negativity there. You come back from that person. They're not going to take it. They'll undermine you in some way or attack you in some way or try to diminish you in some way. You unload in a disrespectful way on somebody, that is a problem waiting to happen for you. That's not self-love. Somebody says, well, I'm going to love myself. I'm going to tell that son of a gun off. I'm sick of his nonsense. Blah, blah, blah. Guess what? You're not loving yourself. Now that guy is upset with you, and you don't know what way it's coming back on you. Or you don't know. When you least expect it, in ways you never dreamt of, it comes back. Typically right from that person. So, we see the power of respect, which is part of the path of honor. Now, it's certainly been my pleasure, my privilege to present this to you. I want you to understand what true self-love is. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm not just calling it self-love. I call it true self-love, as opposed to when people say, I want to love myself. And they usually mean they want to pamper themselves. It usually means they want to get more selfish in some way, put themselves before everybody else. Well, taking care of yourself could add to you being honorable. You've got to take care of yourself. You don't want to burn out. But at the same time, self-love is not defined by being selfish. It's defined strictly by living with honor. That's what I want you to know. Because I don't think anybody's told you this. I know nobody. I've said it before. I've done a lecture some time ago, but this time I came at it again for you because I just see people talking about loving themselves and using it in the wrong way. Or they're using it in a more conventional way, which is incorrect. I'm giving you the best, most constructive definition of self-love. There's none better than this. Well, I want to hear from all of our wonderful guests this evening. Keeping in mind, I want to hear from you. Some of you are shy. You don't have to have the camera on. But I want to hear from you because we all know that everybody benefits as much from you as they do from me, or even benefits more from your input than mine because they'll identify with you. And that's important. So it's now open to all you wonderful people. Yeah, Hugh.
Talking about self-love, if you're continually having angry thoughts towards someone else, that's not self-love.
Yes.
Could you talk about shooting yourself in the foot, hoping it would hurt the person?
Yeah. So he's saying if you're always angry at somebody walking around angry and you're shouting at them or whatever, that's not self-love. If you're upset, you're angry. So the way of honor, the way of honor involves shining a little bit of light into that darkness. So you get angry, you want to say something nasty, you want to slap the person, and in your thoughts you go, I wish you well. Or I release you to your destiny and I wish you well. It doesn't make it all go away, but puts a little bit of light into that darkness. We don't fight the negativity, not at all. We let it be, because those angry thoughts, those destructive thoughts, you're not responsible for it. You didn't choose it. It's based on your genetics, family upbringing, societal norms. It's not, you didn't choose it. But you are choosing to not erase it, but to balance it with a constructive, honorable thought. That way, you're less likely to die of a heart attack or a stroke, which is chronic anger does lead to more cardiovascular events, such as strokes and heart attacks. So, self-love is keeping yourself alive, not destroying yourself.
Well, like the other part that I did say, shooting yourself in the foot, hoping to hurt the person you're mad at, It doesn't hurt them at all.
Well, he was saying, if you're shooting yourself in the foot hoping to hurt the other person, somebody may say something that offends you. That's bad. They stab you. That's bad. But what most people do, they take that knife and they go like that with it by thinking about it, going over it, ruminating on it, planning revenge. That's the real damage, is what you do to yourself. What you do to yourself. So the way of honor, it doesn't stop that person from stabbing you, but it will help you not destroy yourself with it. That's the key. It'll help you not destroy yourself with what he did to you. And that's enormous. That's huge. That's real self-love. Thanks. You always make such good questions and points. I want to open up to the rest of our lovely people.
Hi, doctor.
Yes. Who's speaking?
This is Jose Avila.
Oh, Cisco, very good to hear from you.
This is Jose Avila.
Good.
How are you, doctor?
Good. What would you like to say, Cisco?
This week, doctor, I've been doing my yoga. The whole week I did yoga, and I did my exercise and the fitness industry for the whole week. But emotionally, I was feeling really good, and I let one person to put me in a situation that I got lost a little bit.
Okay, let me talk about that, Cisco. Now, let me talk about that a little bit. If you go into those negative dark tunnels, you go 5 or 10 seconds in, you ain't coming out for a while. An hour, a day, a week, a month, a lifetime. You got to catch it right at the beginning. You're going in, you go, wait a minute. I wish you well. I wish you well, brother. I really do. Or I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality, my problems. He started it, but I'm co-creating it by how I'm reacting, and something that I said before triggered him. Or if I said something bad back, I'm adding fuel to the fire. So you empower yourself by realizing in what way you co-create it. Not to beat yourself up about it. Oh, no. Just to empower yourself. I've co-created this with him, and you might even want to apologize for the way you did that, or just knowing it in yourself will help reduce your anger towards him, because you're not just blaming him for it. You're realizing, you co-created it, and that will reduce your suffering. And that'll be good for your health. And it's not like the person deserves your well-wishing. No. You deserve to wish him well. You deserve it because it's good for you. That's the best thing for you. I had somebody, an amazing individual, who was going through an awful divorce, just awful. Money, guardianship of the children, just awful. And she was always nasty to him. But he saw her at court just the other day, and he said to her, they would go through, she was saying some things to him that weren't very nice. And he said, you know what? I wish you well. She stopped, looked. And he said, and he walked out a little while later and said he felt great. He didn't get caught up in all that drama. I wish you well. So it's one thing to be thinking it towards the person. And you can also be, if you feel appropriate, you could say it to the person. I wish you well. Wow. I was really impressed with him. That was like a Nobel Peace Prize in my book. I was so proud of him and so much respect for how he handled that. So there's a power in this that'll help you in your inner life and your relationship life. Absolutely, at work, your significant other, anywhere.
I lost the power, doctor. I've been trying to control myself and everything, but this person.
Now, Cisco, how often are you saying your commands of honor? Truthfully, be honest.
Twice a week.
No, you got to do it 3 times a day. See, because the repetition is preparation for application. If you do it 3 times a day, you're less likely to lose yourself at that moment. If you're doing it twice a week, you're not even going to think of it. You got to do it 3 times a day.
I was doing every moment, doctor, and then, like I said, I feel like I destroyed myself in those days.
Well, yes, you did. But you know what? What I admire about you, Cisco? you're saying, I realized I did that to myself. I went into that dark hole, and once you're in, it's hard to come out. I understand it. That's human. So in this path where we slip, there's no problem. We're all going to slip, all of us, every one of us. But the way of honor demands we step back up and get back on the path of honor. That's what is demanded in the way of honor. So that you slip, you took responsibility, you're honest with yourself, and you back up. Much respect, brother. Axel, that's beautiful.
Thank you, doctor. And this is what happened. Look, I was running at 6:30 in the morning, and somebody took me a video. And my work, it's a group of like employees, like 10 employees, right? And I don't know, somebody who lived close to my house, co-worker, he took a video from me running in the morning. It was like 6:10, 6:15, and he put it on the group saying that I'm enjoying the life and I'm not working, I'm enjoying the life and collecting money.
Okay. Let me interrupt you right there. See, if you're out on a workers' comp claim saying you had a broken leg and you're running, that's fraud. Psychological disability, that's medically prescribed because I've told you I want you exercising.
Yes,
You're not out for a broken leg. You're not out for a broken toe. You're out because of the stress, psychological stress at work. So for you to be running, enjoying life, heck, even if you went to see relatives in Mexico or wherever, that's great because that's part of the healing process. But if you say, you know, I'm having to stay home because I got hit by a car now and I'm claustrophobic now, I'm agoraphobic, I can't travel, and then you're traveling to Mexico, well, then it's fraud. But a psychological disability, that's actually the doctor prescribed it. I prescribed it for you.
You told me to run.
Oh, I prescribed you. Oh, no. No, these people are ignorant, but this was prescribed. You're just following the doctor's orders. You're not out with a broken leg, so no. Yeah, you might, if you want to put something in a thing, you can say, hey, the doctor prescribed I do that for my mental health. If you want or not, it's up to you. But if you want to put that in, so, no.
Yeah, my son is starting your career, doctor. My son is Jose, the same name like me, and he's starting his career like you. And he told me, Dad, why are you paying attention to the people that you're not working anymore?
Yeah, but here's the point. The point is, to some extent, you can't help it. I understand that, even though we say I shouldn't, but we do. But you know that it's not fraud. You know you're not just milking it. You know this is prescribed by your doctor. It's up to you whether you tell them that, hey, my doctor prescribed I do this for my mental health condition, my stress. And then you just leave it if you want. I personally would probably put a little something in the group chat, but you may not want to. I would, because even though we want to rise above what others say about us, it's only natural to want to set the record straight, then let it go. But you know, most people want to set the record straight. You don't want to get caught up in a lot of debate about it, but hey, this is doctor prescribed for my stress. They'll all understand that, but everybody knows that exercise reduces stress. So yeah. No, that's, I understand. I understand the humiliation of it. I understand the difficulty and the hardship of being misunderstood and misjudged. Yeah. But that you and I and God know truly what's happening. Only God knows you truly, and only God could judge you truly. Only God truly knows you, and only God could judge you truly. But we're going to all be misjudged and misunderstood. You can try to set the record straight. I probably would want to, but I wouldn't get too involved beyond saying that. And if they're still against you, well, they weren't friends. I mean, if people want to find an excuse to condemn somebody, they'll find it and they'll do it. But I would at least give them a chance to, it's not good for them to have a negative thought towards you. A negative thought towards you is damaging themselves. That judgment of them is they're carrying a negativity towards you. That's bad for them. So as a mercy to them, you say, look, the doctor prescribed I do this running for my stress level. And then if they damage themselves beyond that, so be it. That's on them. You gave them a chance, not only for your reputation, but to save them of that negative judgment. That negative judgment is not healthy for them.
No.
Yeah.
No, it moves my insight for almost a day. But then my son talked to me for about an hour with my wife, and They say, you doing something wrong? They go, no. So.
No, wait a minute. You didn't, not only didn't you do something wrong, you did something right.
Yes.
You followed my guidance, and there's a lot of research showing that exercise reduces anxiety and depression. A lot of research. So it's like a medical prescription. It's like taking a good medication. Exercise is known to be a powerful medication. Thank you for your input. Beautiful input.
Doctor.
You helped a lot of people by sharing it. Thank you.
Yes, doctor.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your help, doctor.
Oh, it's a privilege.
Me a lot.
It's a privilege for me. Believe me, privilege to know you, to be a guide in your life. A real privilege for me.
Yes,
I'm glad I'm 83 years old and finally know what I'm doing so I can help great people like you.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Who else has this wonderful input? I want to get from all the rest of you. Wonderful. Who's speaking?
I just want to say that self-love is embracing your strengths and weaknesses. And I say it because you embrace your strength and you overcome the weaknesses. And the reason that's a great foundation so that if anybody comes around you to try to make you doubt yourself, you already know your self-love and your worth, and they can't make you doubt you. So
well,
that's what I see.
I love that. Embracing your strengths, overcoming your weaknesses. The way to embrace your strength is to live with honor. That's an embracing of it, because we saw it led to more self-acceptance. Living the way of honor increases self-acceptance and self-respect. So that's how you do it. That's the mechanism, is following the honor teachings. Exactly. That's how you then have that self-respect. And the truth of the matter is, even if we know ourselves and know what was really happening, it can still be disturbing to hear somebody misjudge you. You say, geez, that's not what happened. And you can't change it. It can still be annoying even though you know it. But that person's still saying it, and you can't change their mind. It creates a disturbance, so you have to then wish them well, whatever. But even knowing your true motive, you'll be misunderstood many times in life, and especially with somebody you're close to, it will irk you. But yeah, it's going to irk you, even though you know what really happened. That person said, "No, that's not what happened. You really did this." No, I didn't do it. I know what I did. No, I know. And you can't talk them out of it. I've seen it many, many times in my lifetime. And so it can shake a person up. I don't want a person, if we were strictly logical, rational beings, it wouldn't bother us at all. Well, he's wrong. I know what I am. And that's the end of it. But generally, because some part of us wants to be understood, especially by people that are important to us, then you become vulnerable to these false judgments. And all you can do is wish the person well and carry that little dark shadow in you. It could be a little dark shadow. I don't want to over-exaggerate what happens with people, because the mind doesn't. We react irrationally to. If we're totally logical beings, that would exactly apply, but we're not totally logical beings.
Exactly, and not let them plant your self-doubt, because that's what they try to do with their words. Yes.
Yeah.
You wish them well.
Thank you.
I wish you well. You may not doubt yourself, but nobody likes to be misunderstood and judged harshly. Nobody likes it. You still go on with your life. You do what you have to do. In fact, the more you do in your life, the more creative you are, the deeper human being you are, the more criticism you will draw to yourself. Absolutely. Your greatness, your virtue will bring darkness to you. People will criticize you. They will misinterpret you. They'll think you had a selfish motive when you didn't. They'll ascribe negative things to you that are not there. That's going to happen. If you just stay in the shadows and nobody notices you, whatever, well, you can just coast through life doing nothing, being nothing, and nobody will do that. But to the extent that you're really adding to society, adding to your family, and out there, you can expect this to happen. And it's not pleasant. It's not. But we can deal with it honorably. Very good point. Very good point. It's so valuable what you said. So valuable.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
This is Mercy. How are you?
Mercy. Oh, very good to hear from you, Mercy.
Yeah, I just want to encourage Jose and in the Four Commandments, it defines our relationship with all others, which is the path to our inner peace and is an extension of our love and compassion. So I feel that has really been defining for me. It helps me when I feel down. And I always remind myself the past does not define me. And what others may say about you should not define you. I know as human beings will feel down when people say negative things about us, but we have to look at life. I remind myself when we are driving at the window, when you're looking out when you're driving, you have this big window. But when you look at the rear window, it's a small window, which tells us our past is so small, but our future is so huge.
You know, Mercy, you're so wise. You know, I have so much respect for you, so wise. You know, people say the past is done and we have the present and the future. All that's really real is the present. The truth is that for most people, the past is very alive in their minds now. In fact, for most people, their past is more real than the present or the future, especially if they're bothered by something. You know, how am I going to, you know, I had this done to me, I had that done to me, this injustice, that injustice. That stays very real. Beautiful things could be happening right now, but it's robbed because we carry these things from the past. This is a fact. In a massive study at the University of Maryland, it was found that 80% of people's thoughts are negative. 80%. So that takes working against that by reciting the commands of honor, using the bridge, following the way of honor. It's a way of going beyond that. You'll see less and less negative. So somebody says something to you that really bothers you, and you're wishing them well. The bad feeling doesn't go away right away, but you still balance it. I wish you well, shine a little bit of light into the darkness, and the negative thoughts will come back less often, with less intensity and less duration. That's what happens. So I was a very negative person most of my life too. A lot of negative thoughts. People didn't know it was in there, but it was. But I followed this path for a good 15 years, and I became a very positive person because I know how to deal with that, to transform the sort of like a transformation process, an alchemy of transferring the negativity and balancing it with some kind of positive, constructive, honorable thought. It's doable, but you have to stay disciplined about it. You got to be very disciplined about it. But what you're saying, we all carry that past. I don't want you to feel, gee, I can't get over this, I can't get over that. Now, one way to get over is what I call a derivative of the warrior's command of honor. The warrior's command of honor is, I'm grateful for the power I gained from hardship. One derivative of that, or two derivatives, I hope to come back much stronger than ever, and what's the best true story I can tell myself about this problem? What's the best true story I can tell myself about this problem is a way to actually change your past. You can change your past, not the event. You can change how you look at it. Because whatever happened, typically some kind of a loss, but always there's a gain that took place. Always. I've told so many stories about that in so many of my lectures. There's a gain. You look at your own life, the tribulations that happened to you, the injustices. If you look at it, you always find it led to something good. Something good also emerged. So the bad story that you tell yourself is only half the story. The other half is the gain. I can tell you a lot of stories. One very popular incident that I tell people, this guy came to me, a big macho, tough-looking guy, all tattered up to his neck, very powerful looking. I could see he wanted to cry. He was very sad. I could see it in him. He said, Doc, I lost everything. My wife left me. I said, wow, that's rough, I know. He says, yeah, but she left me for another man. I said, oh, God, that's even worse. And she took my children with her. I don't even know where they went. I lost my children. I got so stressed. Couldn't do my job. I lost my job. I didn't have an income. Couldn't make my mortgage payments. I lost my house. So I lost his wife, his kids, his job, and his house. That's a true bad story. I said, that's a true story? And it's a bad story, but it's true. It's a tragedy. I said, oh my God. I said, as a man, I said, I feel so much compassion for you. Those are huge losses. Anybody would be disturbed by that. Any normal guy, any normal man would. I said, what if I told you there's the best true story you can tell us about that problem that'll give dignity, nobility, and honor to your life? He looked at me. Really? I said, yeah. Are you ready for the healing medicine? And he said, yes, I'm ready. I've lost everything, but I've gained myself. I saw his face transform. He went from looking like he was going to cry, he just started lighting up. He said, I have gained myself. Yeah. It was just like floating out of my office at the end of the session. In fact, he went to my secretary and says, you know, I've lost everything, but I've gained myself. Still didn't have his wife, his job, his kids, his house. But he told himself the best true story about that situation. So he changed his past, not the events. He changed how he looked at it. And that's what you can do. So don't be afraid of the past, the negativity of it. But look, we don't want to deny the loss and the gain of the tragedy, the injustice. We don't deny it in this path. No, it's real. But we look for the gain. What's the best true story I can tell myself about that? That's how we resolve past traumas and past difficulties. I had a beautiful young lady seeing me once. She had been kidnapped, abducted, and raped repeatedly. It was tragic, but she escaped. And nobody can recover from that tragedy. I mean, that's a trauma that's permanent. When asked what's the best true story you can tell us about that problem, he says, I've helped so many women who were sexually harassed or going through similar things. I have so much compassion, I'm able to help other people. So it's led to me helping others. It gave me a path of service to others. Didn't erase what happened to her. That's unimaginably horrible. But that good that came out of it is also real. So talking about the negative of the past is only half the story. Only half. The other half of the story is what's the gain? And it's always there. Always there, 100% of the time. But you got to ask that question. What's the best true story I can tell myself about this problem? Absolutely, you got to do that. Thank you, Mercy. You're such a jewel. What you bring is so deep. You're so profound. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else would like to ask a question or make a comment that will help everybody here?
Here, Doctor.
Yeah, Hugh.
Tell Jose that unfortunately there are people out there that will kick you when you're down, and you don't give them your attention and get in the way of your recovery.
Well, he was saying that people naturally will kick you when you're down, and you don't want to give them that too much power over you. The truth of the matter is, when you're vulnerable, there are people who will attack. You got to wish them well. You can't help being hurt by it. That's inevitable. You might say, that's not logical, that's not rational to be bothered by it. That doesn't carry any weight for most people. Oh, this shouldn't bother me. But it does. That's the truth of it. I wish you well. Shine a little light into the darkness. Another one you could use is one I call one of the laws of honor. I hope to respond more to your vulnerability than to your negativity. I hope to respond more to your vulnerability than your negativity. There's 25 laws of honor. That's one of them. Beneath all negativity is always vulnerability. Beneath their anger, their condescension, their arrogance, all of that, always is a vulnerability. They feel inferior, jealous, insecure, hurt, humiliated, abandoned, neglected, overwhelmed. So to the extent we're responding to the vulnerability, it's less painful for us. But it's a hope. I hope to respond. I'm not saying you'll totally achieve it, but you will get some success at it. I hope to respond more to your vulnerability than your negativity. Or I hope to respond more to your vulnerability than your negativity, God willing. It's the way of honor, so you get some response to them that way. And that's the path to go with it. The thing I don't want for my people to get into, I don't want you to feel that you look at something logically, but you can't live that logical conclusion. Because these things that are logical and rational or often doesn't fit for most people psychologically. You can't help getting some reaction to it, but you can help how you deal with it. Through the way of honor, you become more resilient. But I don't want to tell you the pain disappears right away. You put some light into the darkness. You keep working with it. You follow the guidance I'm giving you. And the results are tremendous. And this is how you love yourself. Absolutely. Absolutely. These are all wonderful points, all wonderful.
I just want to say something to Jose. It's in Spanish, though. It's like, si se puede, and we got this. You know, we just gotta continue to look.
What does that mean?
Forward. Si se puede is we got this, kind of. It's a Spanish phrase in saying that we got this.
We've got this. That's always good. I've got this. That's fine.
We can do this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Saying I've got this.
Si se puede, and keep your head strong. You got this.
Thank you so much.
That's a good one. Say, I can, I will. All those are good things to be saying to ourselves. And sometimes that can really have a big influence. And sometimes it's just momentary. Sometimes it could be lasting, but that's a good positive self-talk. Well, without any further ado, I want to thank all of you for being here, for the pleasure of your company, for the meaning you give to my life to be able to share this with you. I was happy to present to you true self-love.
The sea of destiny is in your deepest struggle. God's will and mine be one, and I wish you well. You are co-creator, respectfully real. There's a way in the valley that turns weakness to steel. We're known through all eternity, from strife we gain power, clothed in grace and love, disciples of honor. All the days of our lives refuse the way of shame. We wish nobody harm, have no one to blame. Your high calling will be done, and pure eyes now glow. In darkness crave the good, like waters from the desert flow. I pledge my love all the days of my life. I pledge my soul to all that is good. I pledge my heart to my brothers and sisters, who I join in the light, leave a legacy of honor. We're known through all eternity, from strife we gain power, clothed in grace and love, disciples of honor. All the days of our lives refuse the way of shame. We wish nobody harm, have no one to blame. Your high calling will be done, and pure eyes now glow. In darkness crave the good, like waters from the desert flow.